This is Joe Maciarz from Tutoring Enterprises, and today I want to talk about the vertex form of the quadratic equation, and specifically what the parameter a does. Let's go take a look at the graphing calculator. I've already got some variables and equations set up. We've got our main equation right here, y equals ax, a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. Today we're going to talk about a. We talked about this same variable in the standard form, and it's actually the same variable. The interesting thing is it doesn't behave the same in this particular form. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on here. Our parameters are, of course, a, h, and k, and right now I've just set them all to 1. By the way, we've also got our point, our vertex point highlighted here, and it's not going to change because h and k are both going to be set to 1, so nothing should happen with that particular point. Let's go see what happens here. We're going to go up to equation and animate the parameter like we've been doing in the past. Actually, let's move this down a little bit so we can see the slider variable. Alright, so now we have a minimum value of, let's go with -4 to 4, and let's go by 81 values, again discrete count, and hit OK. Right now a is equal to 1, and let's start to play this and see some of the behavior. We can see that a is increasing right now, and as it increases we see that the parabola gets narrower. As it now comes down, it's getting wider. As it approaches 0, it's going to become basically a straight line, and as it becomes negative, the graph will now narrow as it heads towards -4, and it opens downward, obviously. So we can see two kind of behaviors with a. First of all, if a is positive, the graph is going to open upward, like it's doing now, and if a is negative, it'll open downward. Secondly, when we look at the absolute value of a, that is, we throw away the minus sign, the number tells us something about how it compares to what I might call the standard graph, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But basically we have three sort of shapes. We have wide, we have standard, and we have narrow. So let's take a look at, let me pause this, and let's take a look at narrow. Both this situation where this is -3.6, or in absolute value 3.6, and let's go over here, say like 2.4. These are narrower compared to normal. Normal or standard shape is going to be when a is equal to 1. This is the equation that you would get typically when you type in, for example, let's come on over here and I can show you that, y equals x squared. This is our prototypical parabola. This shape of parabola here and this one are exactly the same. So that's what we're going to call standard. Later on we're going to find out why that's important, but for right now everything's going to be compared to this shape. So let me click back on my a parameter, and we can see that values that are between 0 and 1 in absolute value end up being wider than standard. And there again is a value of absolute value of 0.2. It's opening downward because of the negative sign. So the a controls two aspects, whether it opens up or down and how wide the parabola is. Note that at -1 it's standard shape again, and at say something like -2.1 it's going to be narrower. Notice this isn't doing the weird things that we were doing for the standard form of the quadratic equation. Basically the vertex is just sitting still, and a is a very normalish looking parameter compared to what it was previously. So this is about it for a. In our next video we're going to take a look at what happens to h, and I haven't decided if we're going to do two different videos, one for h and k or just one. We might just do one video on both of them at the same time. So I thank you for watching this. Let's get to the back screen here, and this has been Tutoring Enterprises. My name is Joe Maciarz. The website for tutoring is www.tutent.com. My email is tutent@nebraska.rr.com, neb.rr.com, and you can call me for an appointment for 402-421-3536. I do online and in-person tutoring. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, so obviously if you're not in Lincoln, Nebraska, you're going to want to give me a call and do some tutoring in terms of Skype. Check out the website for the prices and times and that kind of thing, and again, thank you for watching.